Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for checking out another video. It is February of 2025. This will be my first video of 2025. I figured it's been a fair amount of time since the last update video which was on my 996, my K24 swapped resto mod 996 project. That car is pretty much finished, ready to go. I have not tuned it yet. I have taken it off the lift. I have my 997 on the lift now. The 996 is over on the dyno. So the next video I'm going to be working on is the dyno video, installing the Link ECU on the 996, going through some of the features and benefits of that Link Fury X ECU, and then dyno tuning it and see how much power it makes. And then eventually I do want to do a turbo swap. I have two turbos for the 996, a 5855 and a 6262 that I should be able to swap hopefully while still in the dyno. And if I can do that, I think it'll make for some interesting dyno content of the differences between the smaller turbo that should spool quicker and then the bigger turbo that should make more power. So stay tuned for that. Recently, I posted up some pictures on Instagram of the Boxster with the K-Series engine in it. Let me switch the camera around. So this is my Boxster S. I bought this as a rolling chassis from a friend who had done a lot of work to it. It has some custom big brakes on it. It has a roll bar in it, some Sparco seats, a bunch of interior upgrades. The chassis itself was in fantastic condition, but it had no drivetrain, which is perfect for me because we are working on a K-Series swap for the Boxsters and Caymans. I already had the Cayman up there, the 2006 Cayman S that I took apart 3 years ago to start this project, but I wanted a Boxster as well, and a Boxster that I could use more for development purposes than the nice Cayman that's up front there. So I picked up this Boxster, and we have been finalizing and working away on our K-swap kit using this Boxster. I have a K-Series engine in it at the moment. This is a Frankenstein 9th gen / 8th gen Civic Si engine, so it's a OEM build. The K24 Z7 blocks have higher compression pistons, and it has a Civic Si 8th gen traditional style head, 4 exhaust port head on it with stock cams in it. So kind of the best of the OEM K24 / K20 head Frankenstein combinations. It has an RRC intake manifold, which is like the RBC. It's a Civic Type R one. And right now I have a set of K-tuned headers on it because this Boxster is going to be built as an NA setup. We're going to do an NA build on this. This car is not going to get a turbo setup. The Cayman is going to get a turbo setup. So our 2006 Cayman S will get a K24, probably a K24 Z7 engine, like 9th gen Civic Si engine with a turbo kit on it. But this Boxster is going to have an NA build, and this combination of parts should hopefully make about 250 wheel horsepower. I did a video a while ago, I'll link it in the description, of a stock, I think it was a 2002 Boxster. It wasn't an S. I put it on my dyno. We did some dyno pulls to see how much power a stock Boxster would make. Unfortunately, I don't know how much power this Boxster S would have made because I got it without a drivetrain, but the plan is to actually get a whole bunch more Boxsters and Caymans here maybe this spring, and then put them on my dyno, try to get some baseline dyno graphs of different Boxsters and Caymans. So if anyone's local to the Greater Toronto area and they have a Boxster S or a Cayman S and they want to put on the dyno this spring, hit me up and we will try to make a day of it or something. Maybe I'll get a few Boxsters and Caymans here and we'll do a dyno day with them and see how much power they make. And then we can compare them to dyno graphs that I already have of K-Series cars that I've already tuned with either NA builds or turbo builds. So anyways, this car, I shared on Instagram some pictures of it with this engine combo swap in it. Like I said, K24 Frankenstein engine. As for transmission, it has a 8th gen Civic Si transmission in it. So 2006 to 2011 Civic Si transmission. It's factory 6-speed, it's factory LSD. I have a competition stage 1 clutch in there, but also I have installed a K-tuned billet shifter box. We made a custom base plate so we could install this K-tuned shifter box in the Boxster connected to the Civic Si 8th gen transmission. We have the shifter box connected to the transmission with some K-tuned shifter cables. With the K-tuned billet shifter box, we can reinstall the factory center console piece and make this all look OEM. It'll require a little bit of trimming, but nothing major. And if you want it to look all OEM, you'll be able to put your center console back in and no one's the wiser. Or technically you could run it with just the shifter box exposed, which is kind of cool because this K-tuned billet shifter box is such a nice piece. I want to show how well this shifter box works and how it shifts. So I'm gonna put the camera down, I'm gonna jump in the car, and I will show you what it's like. Alright guys, so I'm in the Boxster and I wanted to show off this shifter box arrangement. It is the K-tuned billet shifter box. It has K-series cables. It is attached to 8th gen Civic Si transmission. These Civic Si transmissions are 6-speed. They come with a factory LSD, and with this shifter, it is so precise. There's reverse. You can go through all the gears super quickly. I am super happy with how this has turned out. With this K-tuned shifter box, you can actually adjust the height of the shifter so you can have it lower or higher, however you want. You can also adjust the throws with this shifter box, so super nice. This K-tuned box is awesome. This is the way I would do it. You can technically use a stock shifter box, but they are way bigger and way bulkier, and the factory center console won't fit over top of them. We tested it out. But if you're on a budget and you want to use the OEM pieces just to get up and running, I guess you could use a factory stock shifter box, but I think this K-tuned billet shifter is the way to go. If you're going to spend all the money doing this swap, you might as well have this super nice piece in it. So anyways, that's it for the shifter stuff. Let me jump into the car and we'll share some more stuff. Alright guys, so let me know what you think about the Boxster stuff. I am super eager to get this going. I know a lot of you are also very eager to see how this turns out. I think it's going to be a fantastic combo. The K-series engine and transmission in Boxsters and Caymans, whether it be NA builds or turbo builds, the sky's the limit. You guys can do whatever you want. So super excited about this stuff, and we will be making more videos. There's a ton of work we need to do, and I'm not great at capturing the work. So I'm just going to do update videos on this car as I have things to share. But as for the Cayman that's back there, the plan is to do a full build, like from start to finish on the Cayman. So once the Boxster's done, we have everything sorted out, and the kit is finalized, then we will do a full start to finish build using the Cayman. So that's the plan for now. We'll see how it turns out. But anyways, the shop has been rearranged. I no longer have the 996 on the lift. Like I said, it's over on the dyno. We're going to be tuning it soon. Actually, before we jump to the 996 stuff, I just wanted to mention I've been working on some shirts, some like t-shirts and some hoodies. A friend of mine has been helping me out, and he put together some designs for me. We have 2 different t-shirts and a hoodie. I'll put some samples on the screen to show you what it's like, and by the time this video is out, they should be available on the website. So if you're interested at all, check out the website. I'll put a link in the description. I'm pretty happy with the designs. I think they look pretty cool. And if you guys like them, let me know. If it works out and people like them, we'll make more. But anyways, enough about the shirts. Let's cut to the 996 stuff. Before I took the 996 off the lift, I installed a big brake kit, a custom big brake kit that I'm working on with a friend. We modify a set of Brembo 18Z calipers so they bolt right onto the car. I already shot a whole bunch of video about the big brake kit, so let's just jump over to that and then we'll pick up afterwards. I've been waiting for one last big piece of the puzzle for this car. The drivetrain is all done. It's up and running. I have to make a video for you guys on the Link ECU and the dyno tuning, but there was a couple little things we had to take care of on the car before we got to that point. One was the brakes. The brakes came to me completely shot. One of the original owners had painted the calipers yellow with spray paint, and I needed to do something about that. My friend who I actually bought this Boxster from had kind of worked out a big brake kit, and which was pretty cool on this Boxster, and I wanted to do something similar on the 996. So what he had worked out was Porsche Cayenne front calipers machined to be radial mount, and he had made like a custom front two-piece rotor. This combo worked phenomenally well. On the rear, he used a front caliper with a spacer and a different rotor. So you have really big brakes. This combination worked well with the original master cylinder. It was sufficient to provide enough braking force to these calipers. So experiencing this combo on this Boxster, I want to do something similar on my 996. So what we ended up doing was working together and figuring out how to make that brake kit work on this car with OEM 997 turbo rotors, front and rear. So this is a 13.8 inch front rotor with a Porsche Cayenne front caliper machined to bolt directly to the original Porsche front spindle. The Porsche Cayenne calipers look like this. They have, they're axial mounted, which means they have bolt holes here. What we end up doing is machining all that off. I have one over here. Machine all of that off, make an adapter plate like this, and that allows us to bolt this caliper on in place with much larger rotor. And once you've done this on the front, you have a leftover front caliper. So why not take that bigger front caliper and put it on the rear? So what we've done is, again, used a stock off-the-shelf 997 rear rotor that works with the original parking brake drum system that's inside the rotor. And we use some spacers, and we can put our old front caliper on the rear because it has the right spacing for the thickness of this new rotor. And that's what we have over here. So this is the old original front caliper off this car. And now all we have to do is space it out, provide proper bolts, and it all becomes a bolt-on affair. These calipers, I had powder-coated acid green because I'm a fan of that color. In my opinion, it looks pretty cool on this car. So I have the rotors and the calipers kind of on the car, and I needed some brake pads, and the good people over at Hawk Performance, they sent over some brake pads for this combo and brake fluids. So shout out to Hawk. Hawk has been a go-to brake pad for me forever. I absolutely love the HP Plus pads. So they sent over a set of front and rear HP Plus pads for this car. And we're gonna install them today. I also need to add brake fluid and bleed the system. So they sent over a bunch of their Hawk HP 600 racing fluid. And so yeah, the plan for today is get the brake pads and these calipers bled, and that's the last piece of the puzzle for this car. It can be put on the ground, and then the next step will be putting on the dyno and tuning it. I am gonna have to rearrange the shop a little bit. We're gonna take the 996 and get it off this lift, and we're gonna move this 997 back onto the lift because it is time to start building this car. I have all the pieces ready to go to build this 997, do a K-swap into it. We have to do one more small thing of development on the car. We have to finalize a intercooler kit for the 997. We already have an intercooler kit available for the 996s that is all bolt-on, but we need one for the 997s. So we're gonna finish getting this car ready to get it off the lift, get this car onto the lift so we can start this project. And the plan for this 997 is to build it, try to document how long it takes so that we can eventually start offering in-house build service, basically the labor. You drop your car off and we'll give you back a turnkey running K-swapped vehicle that is tuned and ready to go. I think it is time to dive into the brakes on this 996. So let's get started. Okay, Hawk brake pads installed. Hawk HP 600 racing brake fluid has been bled into the system. Thanks again to Hawk for providing the brake pads, HP Plus brake pads for the front and the rear, and their brake fluid. I was able to bleed this system all by myself with this power bleeder. You basically pour a bunch of fluid into it, pump it up, and then one by one, you can go around to all the bleeders. There are 2 bleeders, one on each side of the caliper, so 8 bleeders to do total. And it worked out actually really well. Can't wait to try out these brakes, but now I gotta get the car back on the ground for the first time with the K-Series engine in it and drive it under its own power. I do want to rearrange things here at the shop. All this has to be rearranged today because there's a big snowstorm coming in, and if I don't do it now, everything will be stuck here as it is for at least a week or 2. So why don't I get started moving all these cars around. Okay, car's moved around. 997 on the lift, so we can start this project. We are going to be doing another K24 swap into this 997. I have all the pieces ready to go. We're going to test fit some cool things, so stay tuned for this build. Once this build is done, I'm going to be selling this car. So a lot of people have reached out and are interested in this car. But for anyone else that might be interested in this car, it's going to sell for about 65,000 Canadian. So if that's within your budget and you want a fully done K24 swapped 997.1, reach out and we can chat. As for this 996, it is ready to go. It's positioned on the dyno lift so we can strap it down to the dyno and I can start tuning it. So it's in 2-wheel drive mode. It's only rear-wheel drive right now. There is no center drive shaft connected. So only the rear wheels are spinning, so I can tune it on my 2-wheel drive dyno. Once this is all done, I can reinstall the center drive shaft and the car will become all-wheel drive again. And then it wouldn't get stuck in the snow like it did trying to back in the garage door over there. Anyways, I think that might be it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, and I will continue to keep making these videos for you guys. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.